Hey guys, this is the first episode of This Week in Geek. This is going to be a series that I'm starting where I basically talk about all the Marvel, DC, Star Wars, uh, you know Star Trek. Although I'm not big into Star Trek, Power Rangers, Doctor Who, DC, Marvel, DC stuff. All that news I rounded up from from the past week, and I talk about it all in one video. Um, so first of all, now I'm not sure how long I'm going to do this series, just because I have to balance schoolwork and everything, and also I'm doing a series. I might be starting a series in 2016 called um, what's it called? Person of the Week. So I'll have to balance that too, and also I'm going to start doing skiing, so I have to get that done as well every Friday. But yeah, let's begin. So first of all, our first news story today is Daibutsu Sentai Jaiyu Aiger. I apologize to anybody who's Japanese if I'm mispronouncing that. But this is the new Super Sentai series. I'm probably completely mispronouncing that, but this is technically the first trailer for it, or the first promo, I guess you should say. For those of you who don't know what Super Sentai is, in Japan, I'm guessing most of you probably know what Power Rangers is. Well, Power Rangers, although much of it is filmed, whenever, most of the times, not always, but most of the times, whenever the Power. Whoa, what was that? Okay, shut up. Sorry about that, guys. But yeah, for those of you who don't know what Super Sentai is, in Japan, um, most of the Power Rangers scenes, wherever they're fighting, in the robot or whatever, usually those are taken from a show called Super Sentai, which is in Japan. Basically, all the fighting scenes, uh, most of them, most of the time. Sometimes they'll film their own scenes, but usually they'll just take footage from the Sentai whenever they're fighting a bad guy, and whenever the Power Rangers are fighting a bad guy, and they'll put that into their Power Rangers episode. Um, so I'm not going to play this, but this is their trailer if you want to go check it out. They have a new trailer for their new series that's coming out next year. Their current one is called Ninja. It is a ninja themed series, um, but this upcoming one is going to be a whatchamacallit, a an animal themed one. Sorry. But the interesting thing about it is, judging by the promo, it looks like they are going to be actual animals. Well, except they're not just going to be like humans that have animal zords or humans with animal powers, which is what they did with Jungle Fury and Wild Force. But no, most of them, with the exception of the Red Ranger, who is going to be a human, are actually going to be humanoid animals, like pretty much metamorphosized animals. Well, I shouldn't, sorry, not metamorphosized, anthropomorphic animals, um, which is really interesting, really weird, but also kind of interesting. And I could just see how Power Rangers, would adapt that. But also, it's supposed to be their 40th, even though this year was their 40th anniversary. They're going to be doing a 40th anniversary special this year with that series. And it's going to obviously be animal themed. And another interesting thing is, usually every season, although they didn't in the Ninja, they have a either a black or green ranger, and it looks this year they'll have a green ranger. We don't know who the sixth ranger is going to be yet, but it also looks like similar to Wild Force again. They're going to be replacing a pink ranger with a white female ranger, and they're going to be having I believe they're going to have a yellow ranger, but I think it'll be a he, not a she, which is not common. Usually they make a female yellow ranger, but it looks like this time they'll be making a male yellow ranger. Sometimes they have done it with Hurricaneger. They had a yellow male ranger, and in whatchamacallit, Magi Ranger, which was later adapted in the Mystic Force, they had a male yellow ranger. And actually in Jew Ranger, which was adapted into the first ever Power Rangers season, Mighty Morphin, they had a yellow male Power Ranger. But in Power Rangers, in Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, they changed that because they wanted two females on the team, so they got a female. But in the actual Sentai, it was a male. But anyways, moving on. And they did have it in the Ninja too. They had a male Yellow Ranger and a white female Ranger in the Ninja. So let's see. So next we have Black Panther will feature majority a black cast is crucial to Avengers Infinity War. I kind of guessed this. This really isn't surprising because they also said that Ryan Coogler, who directed Creed, he's going to be directing this. But you could tell that this was really going to be very much about Africa. You could tell this was very much going to be very much about not only because the character is black, but you could kind of tell that most of the cast was going to be black, and that this was going to be just very much focusing on I don't know how to explain it, but you knew that this movie was they were really trying to make a movie with a big black cast because it's being directed by Ryan Coogler, who did Creed. Creed had an African American lead, which was Michael B. Jordan. And then also one of the directors, one of the people who was supposed to direct it, who was in talks, but dropped out, was actually the person who directed Selma. Selma is all about, African American rights. It's about the civil rights movement. So I'm not surprised that Kevin Feige is saying it will mostly be a black cast. Also, it's probably going to, I don't know, but it will probably take place in Wakanda. Now, my theory about this film has always been that it's going to be sort of a prequel / spin-off type of thing. Now, I don't know if they're going to go for that, but they might easily make like a sort of something that takes place, not really a prequel, but more so a midquel, something that takes place before Civil War. Perhaps it will be here's what I think it'll be. I think the movie will basically have it'll have Black Panther's the father, and he's probably going to, like in the Avengers cartoon, Earth's Mightiest Heroes, he's probably going to die, and T'Challa is probably going to take over, the reins, and that's what I think it's going to be. And I also think that because they did say it's going to be crucial to Avengers Infinity War, so I think part of the vibranium is going to be part of the vibranium that's located in Wakanda is going to be an Infinity Gem. That's my guess. Now, this is probably the biggest news. James Gunn says Captain America: Civil War is one of the best Marvel movies ever. Well, it's gotten a lot of hype, but I mean, here's the one thing I will say. Um, uh, James Gunn, no offense to James Gunn by any means, um, but a lot of times when directors say stuff like, "Oh, this is gonna be the greatest movie ever. Fans will love it." It ends up not being good, and I think the reason why is because directors kind of have to say that. I mean, if somebody asks you, like if somebody asks a director, "Oh, what do you think about a movie?" If you have a close relationship with that studio, you're not going to say, "Oh, this movie sucks. I hate it." Because then the audience is going to be worried and then they're not going to go see it. It's almost like a stab in the back to the studio. Now, a lot of times directors have, not always, but sometimes directors will come out after the movie happens and they'll say something like, "Oh, well, yeah, I wasn't a big fan of that movie." Actors or directors. With The Amazing Spider-Man 2, Andrew Garfield came out and right after the movie happened and expressed his displeasure, I should say, toward the movie. But yeah, I don't think that, you know, this really should spike anybody's anticipation. I'm not saying the movie's going to be bad. I just don't think that, this should be a sign that, oh, the movie is going to be better or worse. Because I don't think it really should change anybody's anticipation for the movie. Um, but yeah, because and also keep in mind that James Cameron, he was asked about Terminator Genesis, and he said, "Oh, it's a great movie. You guys are gonna love it." And he basically endorsed the film, um, and said it was awesome and that everybody was gonna love it. And yeah, uh, it bombed. And then with Fantastic Four this year, what's his name, Mark Miller, basically told us that the film was going to surprise the fans and be amazing. Well, it ended up bombing too. It has a 10%, it has like a 10% on Rotten Tomatoes right now. But anyways, continuing on with this news story, and for those of you who don't know who James Gunn is, he directed Guardians of the Galaxy pretty much. Um, so what this article says is, he says, and I quote, "I saw Civil War and I think it's incredible. It's one of the best Marvel movies ever. I can't believe what a wonderful job the Russo brothers did and the cast. Oh my God, they're so good." So it's an amazing film, and people are really going to be excited to see that come summertime. Um, and then it says in this article from from slashfilm.com, it said, and he had nothing but nice things to say about Holland's Spider-Man. Um, I'm trying to think about what is cool to say or not, but I will say one thing: Tom Holland is dot 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 off the charts awesome, off the charts awesome, off the charts truly. Hand to my heart, he's amazing. Um, Now, as I just said, it can mean either thing. Um, the whole thing where he says it's one of the best Marvel movies, that can basically mean either thing. Because he could just be saying that to stick up for Marvel. He probably is, but with this, I'm really not sure if he's just saying Tom Holland's great, stick up for Marvel. Because Tom Holland is one of the most anticipated things about the movie. But at the same time, he we don't know what it could mean. Um, I mean, he could actually mean it. He could actually be saying, Spider-Man is that really, really cool character that you guys are all going to love in the movie. I mean, he could be the type of character that ends up stealing the show. He could be like, how in like Avengers, the first Avengers movie, it was kind of Mark Ruffalo who stole the show as the Hulk. It could be like that with Tom Holland's Spider-Man. I don't know, but it could also just be like a really, really cool cameo. Like could almost be like whenever Nick Fury makes a cameo, he always has really, really cool cameos to make. So it could also be that. I mean, I'm still not sure how big a role he's going to have. There have been some people saying, Oh no, Marvel confirmed he has a giant role. Um, there's been no confirmation of that. There have just been multiple sources that have said stuff like that, and there have also been multiple sources that have said other things about the movie that turned out completely wrong. But continuing on, yeah, we already went over this. This is just another source reporting it. Hold on. Anyways, they revealed Doctor Strange's costume. Let me just wait for this to load, and I'll show you what the costume looks like. Actually, why don't I come back to this while this is loading? Oh, crap. Oh, here we go. So the Suicide Squad trailer and Wonder Woman sneak peek debuting during the CW. So, and here's what it says in this article from comingsoon.net. It's a full night of action from DC Nights on Tuesday, January 19th, 2016. The CW presents an all-new 2.5-hour specials. DC's Legends of Tomorrow, their first time is now 9 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. And then they're also going to have at 9:30 p.m. to 10 p.m. they're going to have DC Films presents Dawn of the Justice League, which features the world premiere of the new Suicide Squad trailer, following an original episode of The Flash. So apparently, what this is going to be, from my understanding, Marvel has done this a lot. They've had all the, like, they've done a lot of stuff before. Like, they had this whole documentary about Marvel on ABC for the 75th anniversary of Marvel Comics. And they also once had, back in early 2014, they said they had a Marvel universe. They had a Marvel Cinematic Universe history type of thing. Now, here's the thing. This article has said, I'm guessing this is the DC presents Dawn of the Justice League. I'm guessing that's going to be like the MCU thing they did. But here's the thing. In the MCU thing that Marvel did, they kept advertising this whole gigantic preview of Avengers Age of Ultron. And this was in early 2014 when they had just started filming Age of Ultron. And then guess what? It turned out just to be, it just turned out just to be like a few pieces of concept art, a few shots of them filming, no actual trailer. So my guess is the Wonder Woman preview, because they've said that it's going to be a Wonder Woman preview, not Wonder Woman trailer, Wonder Woman preview. So it'll probably, and they just started filming Wonder Woman. So it will probably just be a few bits of concept art. However, I could be wrong, because DC is known for sometimes releasing like just little snippet teaser trailers, just like mini teaser trailers right after they start filming. Examples: Man of Steel, the first trailer for that was just a mini one. It was just Superman walking around. It didn't even show Superman until the very end of the trailer. And mostly it was just Superman's dad talking, Jor-El, just doing narrations. And the final shot just showed him flying. And it was only like a minute long. And then the Dark Knight Rises trailer, that was really just a great example of a really, really short teaser trailer. What they had in that was they had all it was Commissioner Gordon in bed talking about Batman. That's it, pretty much. So it might just be that, but I don't know. Next, if you guys have been looking forward to Deadpool, if you guys are really, really pumped for Deadpool, you've probably seen this one coming. Deadpool, they released a new trailer on Christmas. Gonna move on. Now, I haven't read much about this yet, but apparently, supposedly, a full story draft of Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice has leaked. Go check that out. I'll probably check that out afterwards. And let me see. Is this gonna load? Let me see if I can. Well, oh, hold on. Come on. Get down here. Come on. Go. Okay. Here. Come on. Okay. Here you go, guys. Finally, our final news for tonight is here's the official thing of Doctor Strange, his official costume. Um, but yeah, let me know what you guys thought of this first episode. I'm gonna stop now. I hope you guys are having a great New Year's. And yeah, so tomorrow we're probably gonna have the first episode of Person of the Week. I'm just about to upload my last video of 2015, so I'll see you guys later. Bye.